So today we're going to go over a really quick, easy warm-up for a deadlift. Should take about 10 minutes to do this. We're going to work through all the parts of our body that we would use for a deadlift. So we're going to start with our hips, and as always we're going to start with cars. So first thing, you're going to lay on your back, grab a hold of your pelvis here so we can make sure it's not moving up and down. We're going to do 5 hip capsule cars. We're just focusing on rotating the femur side to side, trying to keep that femur as vertical as possible. Sometimes it helps if you put your hand on top of your knee just so you can make sure that you're not letting that move side to side, front to back, etc. Okay, switch sides. Really normal sensation that you might feel when you're doing these is that as you go into internal rotation, feel the outside of your hip muscle contracting, you might feel a little cramping. That's a good sign. That's just where that internal rotation stuff is inside of your hip. Alright, next we're going to do 2 standing hip cars in each direction. In this case I'm going to use the wall so I can get a little support. I'm also going to put my hand on my pelvis just so I can ensure that I'm keeping my pelvis as parallel to the ground as possible, right? We're trying to move our femur in that big circle through that full range of motion with no pelvic movement, no spine movement. So we're going to start flexion, coming out, trying to keep the knee right in this point as we shift into internal rotation, and then reversing. Just nice easy tension. You know, this is warm-up effort, so we're going for 30 to 40% effort. All right, switch sides. Now what I'm really doing as I'm working through these to make sure that I'm keeping really good tension through my whole body, I'm pushing against the wall. I'm also trying to push my straight leg down. And you know, ideally, if you're keeping enough tension in your body, you're going to feel that your leg is muscles are getting fatigued around the hip of the leg that you're moving, but also on the leg that you're standing on. It's a good indication that you're keeping some nice tension throughout the whole body. Okay, next we're going to do spine capsule cars, which is really just flexion and extension of the spine. So I'm going to start by getting some good tension in my legs, my butt, just to keep my pelvis from moving. I'm going to wrap the arms all the way around here just to ensure that my shoulder blades aren't making me think that I'm moving my thoracic spine when I'm really just moving my shoulder blades around. So I'm going to wrap the shoulders up, slowly curl my thoracic spine into flexion, and then all the way down to my lumbar spine, and then I'm going to come all the way back up. Just do a couple of these. Okay, now we're going to go through the regular spine cars. So flexion, rotation, side bending, slow spine extension, rotation and extension, side bending, back into flexion, rotating back to the front, again the opposite direction, just trying to maximize each component of movement before we go to the next one. Try to keep the effort still at that 30 to 40% and keep trying to breathe as you go through these movements. Okay. I mean, really the big movers here are going to be our hips, our back, and our hamstrings. So those are going to be the main focus of what we're going to do beyond the cars. So the first thing, we're just going to go into our 90-90 position. And we're going to do a couple low-level Pails contractions for internal rotation. So easiest way to find that position, lean forward until it's easy to internally rotate that back femur. Then you're going to bring your torso back upright, pelvis back just until you can't quite lift that ankle off the ground. And then we're going to keep our pelvis right here, but slide the arm out to the side until it's easy to abduct our hip. When we do that, we're trying to keep the shin parallel to the ground. So essentially we're abducting and internally rotating. We're going to bring the arm back in. Now I can't lift off of the ground here. It's important to note that as you're trying to lift that shin up, you want to feel it right in the side of your butt here nothing above your pelvis. Okay, so I'm gonna start my Pails contraction, big tension through the body. I'm gonna start by just pressing down this back ankle. And then as I'm pushing the ankle down, I'm gonna try to rotate my pelvis back just to deepen that position of internal rotation, and I'm gonna try to tuck my tailbone. You should feel more stretching when you do that. We're just gonna hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. One more time. Push that back ankle down, rotate the pelvis back, tuck the tailbone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. All right, we're just gonna switch right over to the other side. So, other side of the 90-90 position, we're gonna check our active range of motion, lean forward, lift that back ankle, sit upright till it won't lift, slide the arm out to the side till it's easy to abduct the hip, ensuring that that's all side butt stuff working. Back upright till we can't abduct the hip anymore. Big tension through the body, push that back ankle down. As you're pushing down, twist the pelvis back just a small amount, just to feel a bigger stretch, then tuck the tailbone. Hold that tension. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. And then one more time. Big body tension. Push the back ankle down first. Rotate the pelvis back. Tuck the tailbone. Keep actively doing those three things. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. All right. That takes care of our hip capsule work. Now we're going to work on our spine. We're going to do a couple easy Pails contractions for spine flexion and spine extension. It's really important to note that if you're not sure how well your spine moves, we want to even keep the intensity maybe lower than what you do for a hip, just until we get to the point of really good spinal segmentation. So you're going to start in your quadruped position, and we're going to go into spine flexion. So I'm going to tuck my tailbone, tuck my chin around my back, really making sure I'm not getting more by pushing my shoulder blades forward. We're just trying to move the spine. That's our 100% of spine flexion, so I'm going to back out of that just a little bit. This is kind of what feels like maybe 80% in my mind. I'm going to brace tension through my whole body. So you're going to squeeze your abs tight, and you're going to start generating force, pushing the hands forward, knees and feet backwards. What that should feel like is you're holding lots of ab tension and feeling maybe a low level of stretching at the most through your spine erector. So just keep holding that tension. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Big breath in. Hold it and start to push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Now we're going to go into our very end range of spine extension. So head back, tailbone back. Once you find what feels like 100%, back out of that a little bit. So we're in that 80, 85%. Now big tension again through the abs, and our Pails contraction here is trying to pull the floor back together. So I'm actively pulling my hands and knees towards each other by contracting my abs. A big squeeze here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Big breath and tension. And start to pull. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. All right. Next, we're going to go to the hamstring. So we're going to do some easy Pails contractions for our hamstring in a lunge here. Now I'm going to get my foot out forward but out to the side a little bit just so it's easier to balance. I'm going to keep a slight bend in the knee. And the first thing I'm going to do is just tilt my tailbone back. Now if you feel off balance here, do this up against the wall. Get a broomstick to hold onto, something to help you balance is great if you need it. Now the Pails contraction is going to start by tension through the whole body again. I'm going to dig my heel down in the floor, and then I'm going to try to bend my knee. And as I'm trying to bend my knee, I'm also going to try to tilt my tailbone back. This should feel like pretty even tension through the whole hamstring, nothing too acute. If it is, pull less, maybe get into a slightly more bent knee position. Go ahead and get tension, start to bend the knee and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Big breath and tension. Start to try to bend the knee. Continue to try to tilt the tailbone back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Switch legs. Let's repeat the same thing. So again, slight bend in the knee. Starting with my tailbone tilted back slightly. Start to try to bend the knee. Continue to try to tilt the tailbone back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Big breath, big tension. One more time. Start to try to bend the knee. Keep tilting the tailbone back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Okay, last couple things here. We're going to do kind of an isometric deadlift, but it's going to be just by trying to get our hands underneath our feet. And based on how much mobility you have here, you may have to bend your knees more or less. It may not look exactly like the way that I'm doing it, but I just want you to fold forward. We're going to try to do this with a relatively flat back. I'm going to stick my fingers under my toes here, and I'm going to press my toes down. My goal is to put enough pressure here that when I try to pull up, I'm going to be relatively stuck. I'm not going to be able to stand up. Now, this should feel like kind of even tension through your hamstrings and back. Adjust the position to make it reasonable. And again, this is not max effort. This is like 30 to 40% effort at the most. So we're going to dig underneath our feet, press the fingers down under the toes, get full body tension. So take a breath. And then we're going to start to try to stand up, and we're going to resist because we're holding our arms down. So just build up to that 3 to 4 on a 10 scale. Hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow relax. Go ahead and stand up. Last thing, we're just going to do a couple spine flexion roll downs all the way to the floor. So again, wrap the arms all the way around the shoulders. Segment through just your spine flexion. So no pelvic movement till we're stuck. Then we're just going to fold all the way down. Spend a couple seconds actively reaching towards the floor. Wrap the shoulders. Curl your way back up into hip extension, spine flexion. Slowly extend the spine at the top. And one more again. All the way down through spine flexion. Rolling forward into hip flexion. Reach, stretch. Hang for a few, wrap the shoulders back up, and all the way back to spine extension. All right, now go get those deadlifts.